I have two really cool knives to show you that are on loan to me from a great and generous patron of mine over in Europe. And sometimes this patron and others actually drop ship things to me. I get to check them out, live with them for a while, and then I send them along over to them. It makes it easier on them to actually get some of the knives they want over there, and it also gives me the ability to check out some really cool knives that maybe I want to check out but don't want to buy, or want to see if I want to buy. So this one I would love to own. This is a Tashi Bharucha design knife called the Son of Sam, and it's a Mechforce collaboration. Now Mechforce I don't know much about. I've been to their website a few times, and if this knife is any indication, they build incredible knives and do collaborations. So this is with Tashi, and this is a full tie bronzed clip there. And well, the Son of Sam is the model. And I'm old enough to remember when the Son of Sam was killing people in New York. I was in New York City that summer, well, right outside in Rockland County, visiting my grandparents. I was there with my sister and my brother and, my mom, and my dad was at home, I remember, working. But when we were up there, the Son of Sam was killing people, and I was concerned that my sister, who had long brown hair, was going to get shot while we were there. Yeah. But anyway, so I remember the Son of Sam, and this is way better looking than, what was his name? David, oh, it'll come to me. But this is way better looking than the original Son of Sam. What a beautiful knife this is. It's got a recurve, I don't know, drop point or a recurve clip point or a recurve tanto. You can see that flat here. This is a compound ground blade where this is very deeply hollow ground here. I mean, it gets real thin down here, making this little sub point just nasty, I would imagine. But nice thinly hollow ground blade, and then it transitions into a flat grind right there, right up at the front. You can see it best like this, I guess. Harpoon swedge, very nice harpoon swedge. Definitely not a deal breaker for me. I love the flipper setup. It's just a part of the ricasso, and not an extra tab, but it definitely works as a finger guard. Tashi Bharucha, French designer. He's been on the show. I had him on once. What a cool guy. He was also on a town hall, I believe. Really nice guy. Very, I don't know. He's like a Renaissance man, one of those kind of people you want to become like. He's got a thriving career out in the real world doing advertising stuff, I believe it is. And then he builds and designs these incredibly beautiful knives. And he builds them, and he has other people build them too, does collaborations. So just really cool. I love all this sculpting. This handle is so comfortable. I talk often about how I don't like double finger partitioning. Here, it really works for my hand. Your mileage may vary depending on the size of your hand, but this knife ergonomically just feels incredible. I also have a feeling it's going to be just a great all-around cutter. And of course, it would make an excellent defensive option if you could bring it to bear. Sometimes I actually question whether I could, in serious duress with an adrenaline dump, wonder if I could even manage a flipper, or if it would be like, there would be too much fumbling. Who knows? I don't know. But if you could bring this thing to bear and have this in your grip like this, wow. I mean, because it's locked in there with that, and then with that curve, and then that place to put your thumb there. It's such a beautiful knife. M390, I guess that's the Mechforce logo there. That's the Tashi Bharucha logo, Tashi TBD. That's a cool logo. So I got this in that box, and then also this cool thing. This is the Riate Exo. I'm sure you all recognize it. This one has a blade I hadn't seen before, though. This has, let's see, a lock, so let's unlock it. Oh, by the way, hang on, before I get to this, because it doesn't have a clip, which I'm sure you've already noticed, it comes with a leather, a leather slip. So you just put this over your belt, and then it just goes in here without any snap or anything. But I haven't put it in there, but I know it'll be a nice friction fit, and over time, the leather will conform to the shape of the handle, and that'll be cool. But so Riat EXO gravity knife. What you do is you let the bottom part drop, and then the blade slides out, and then you close it, and then you lock it. The original one didn't have a lock. Of course, there's lots of play because of the nature of a gravity knife. But this is a coping blade, and I had not seen a coping blade on this knife yet, and I really like it. I like it a lot. If I were to get a Riat EXO, it would not be with the coping blade. I would get a dagger or something. I think the out the front format is the perfect format for something double-edged. But isn't this cool? Vic, if my brother's watching, he would totally be into this. I like how it slides back there, and then that tab locks in that section, and it's in there. Personally, would I get this knife? No, I haven't been too tempted by the EXO. It's a great... I would have been if this came out 2 years earlier than it did, when I was in my museum phase. Like, I was building a museum of all the cool, unique knives I could get my hands on. I'm out of that phase now. This would definitely fit awesome. Like, if I had gotten this before, I wouldn't have gotten rid of it. But, you know. But what a cool knife. Riat makes amazing stuff. And, of course, this is no exception. I think this would take me a little bit to get the hang of, to like pull it out fluidly and use it to, you know, cut my sandwich at work or whatever. Look at that blade. I love that blade. Coping blade. Hang on one sec. I have to. Where else have we seen a coping blade? I know I have one somewhere. All right, well, whatever. We've seen coping blades in slip joints. That's where we've seen them. So it's cool to see it make the jump here. Coping blade to me is like a sheep's foot, but with a sharp delineation and a very steep, or a sharp, what do we want to call this? Dip down to the blade, a sharp transition to the downwards angle to the blade. And then so much of a steep angle, it's almost squared off. Whereas a sheep's foot to me is way more curved and a little bit more gradual to that tip. But that's me. Coping blade in the Riate Exo. All right, I guess I could get the hang of it after a while. And the Mechforce Tashi Bharucha, Son of Sam. Thank you so much to my patron. He knows who he is. I greatly appreciate this and your generosity. And cheers. May you use these for a long time in good health. All right, take care.